So, yeah, fine end to the, well, not really an end to the evening, but the end of the talks. I'll be talking about dates, an intersection of a romantic story and dates in JavaScript. So first, a little bit about myself. I'm husband and father of 4 kids. I originally started learning robotics and then made my hobby into into my profession and started web development about 7.5 years ago. I'm currently a web enthusiast at Woom, doing their e-commerce stuff. I'm also a musician because with 4 kids, full-time job, being married to an awesome wife, that's just not enough. And I'm also one of the founders of Svelte Society Vienna. So it never gets boring. So about this talk, time flies. So the inspiration for this talk comes from life with an, I've meant to change that typo in there. It's day of typos. Last week I celebrated my 15-year anniversary and celebrated that by getting sick instead of taking my vacation. And I want to talk about the hidden time section on my website. We'll get to that shortly. And we'll take a look on what used to or is still on Moment.js on the live website, but has already been refactored to Svelte 5 runes, and what I learned by dealing with dates. So we can already jump into the demo because it's a lightning talk. So for whoever is curious, on my website, there is this little section here, which links to the hidden time section. So what are we going to build? We want to calculate some different times. We want to have a date checker. So I already have some boilerplate on the screen. We have the elapsed seconds, minutes, hours, days, weeks, months, quarters, years from my wedding day. So I want to stay up to date on how many seconds did elapse since I said yes. So it's actually really easy. So we have a state, which is the date right now. We have the derived time, which gets the milliseconds from the current now. And because now always changes and never stays still, I have an interval that just increases it with an effect. So the way we can implement the seconds is actually really easy. We can do another derived. And this derived is the difference. Well, let's do it like that. Between the now time and the wedding time. And because we're on milliseconds and want to go to seconds, we need to divide by 1000. And just to check if we are doing that nicely, yeah, we should see that, but we have some comma seconds. So let's clean that up a little bit. We can do one, two. The math floor should be just fine, and now we're all good. So now we have the seconds, and we can keep track of what is going on. So happy second anniversary. Yeah, and the next step is actually also really easy. Yeah, of course. Minutes. So any guess what we do with the minutes derived value? Like any shout outs? It's really interactive today. Divided by 60. Awesome. So excellent. And yeah, let's also show the value. Let's add the second little thingy here. Again, math floor. Of course. So people can start thinking about the next step. What's it gonna be? So minutes turns somehow into hours. What's it gonna be? 60 minutes? Good. So we can also add those hours. Those are quite some hours. So the jump to days shouldn't be too hard, I guess. How many hours in a day? 24. Excellent. It's in the docs. Yeah, so now we have our days. Jumping to weeks. Oh, yeah, hours. Thank you. Live coding. So days turn to weeks. And no longer 24, I guess. 7, all agreed. Excellent. So let's enable weeks down here as well. For months, it gets a little bit more complicated. Quarters is actually really easy because that's the amount of months divided by something. 4. Let's see if anyone remembers. So let's do the easy one first. Let's do the years, the full years. So to not make this unnecessarily long, I have the map, a little helper here. So years, because JavaScript is fun, is again, we take the time, we differentiate it, create a new time, get the full year, and we subtract 170, the magical number of years, because those are the years where the counting of the epoch time started. So we now have our 15 years. For months, one would think it's actually pretty easy because months is years times 4-ish plus some extra, but it's actually not that easy. So for months, we'll take a quick look right away. So we have the years times 12, and then, oh yeah, we do something similar for the date. We take the time that we have now, we subtract it with the goal time, and then we get the month. So we get this month we get 0 months because the month difference is not available. And then we have this little month adjust where we pass in the date. So the month adjust is actually a pretty funny little thing, because it's a little bit less complicated than it actually should be. So if we take a look at the days inside of the month, we kind of need to figure out, did the day already pass, or will it pass sometime in the future? So if the days in the now are still smaller than the date that is to come, we don't have an offset. But if the now days, like if we compare the 13th and the 15th, we have already passed the 1 month and we need to add it. If it's on the same day, I just did the calculation or the check for the hours, but theoretically you would need to go down and see, okay, did the hours already pass on the day? And if the hours have not if the hours have passed, did the seconds pass or the minutes pass, and so on onto the milliseconds if you wanted to do that. So there's quite some fun juggling of the dates that need to happen for getting the numbers that we actually want and care about. So me as a developer who's dabbled in quite some a lot of different technologies, like also doing some stuff with C#, having a really nice date library is something that JavaScript doesn't have out of the box. But it's like a fun experience to do this yourself from time to time and get a deeper understanding of the language that you're working with. Just for completeness sakes, let's copy this little line of code with the bug that I had on my website for I don't know how many years. I divided into trimesters, not quarters. Yeah, so now we kind of have a full completed date calculation. And yeah, if we wanted to, we could also add an input field and like adjust this little input date with whatever value we want, and it would automatically recalculate all of the seconds to years that have passed since a date in time in the past. So yeah, let's continue with thank you so much for listening and this little excursion into dates. And I hope you enjoyed the talk. And yeah, great that you were here. Enjoy the rest of the evening. Any date questions?
I have a question. If you could go back to the code.
Yes.
Maybe it's a stupid question, but I've never used Svelte myself. And you use your derived of the derived of the derived of the derived.
Yes.
Is this the problem at some point? Or?
Not really. So you see only the seconds change. And the way the derived, like this, the technology behind those state management in Svelte 5 to come. So you see preview, work in progress, expect bugs, is signals. And with signals, they kind of they keep track of if the value changed. So even though seconds is recalculated, it doesn't recalculate everything. It only recalculates if there is actually a change.
But in case everything would change, would be then. Like, let's say you have this 100 times.
Yeah, so theoretically, you would have, I mean, probably not, because spreadsheets kind of work the same. So, of course, there is a limit, but signals are really, really performant in what they do, and they solve it really nice. And for most of the use cases, you probably don't even need to derive. That's a really, really edge casey thing.
But it's a fun way to do it.
Yes, it's the fun way.
Yes, I like it. I like the idea. I'm already thinking, can one make kind of derived for like time pass? So if you give a date, like it's pretty time pass, like basically,
Yeah.
5 days ago, or like 3 hours ago, or like 7 months ago.
That shouldn't be too hard.
Yeah.
It's just maths and stupid time definitions.
I think it's very hard.
Yes?
I have a question. Isn't it correct for the days for the daylight savings time? Because there could be days that are 23 hours and I will display that I'm already a day sold, but the day was not actually sold or something.
It happens twice a year, so it changes. It happens twice a year, so it cancel each other.
Yeah, after some time, but if you not
Yeah.
married and just like married like 2 days ago, and it was right with the switch it's time.
I'm not I think like new date. So if you did, I'm defining a new date. I think the new date itself takes into consideration daylight saving time. So you would have a jump in the date.
Milliseconds, there should be enough milliseconds elapsed. So at 2 o'clock, maybe there have been already be enough milliseconds elapsed. But as it was, we jumped back, it's only 2 o'clock, but there have already been enough milliseconds. So it's the definition of a day.
Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm just struggling a lot with this kind of thing.
Yeah.
We mostly struggle with visualization, time series data. That's really
Just being on the first of the month and add 3 months. Everyone will think it's very easy to do.
No, it's not.
It's so hard to just add 3 months to the first of the
Yeah. Months are stupid.
First of February, you go 1, 2, 3, and then you pick up your date. No, because you have 21, 29.
After the talk, you can change the time on your computer to the 27th of October, 2:59 in the morning, and we'll see what happens. I think Windows shut down.
No license.
So,
If I go to your website when I'm in America,
yeah,
it's a different time zone.
it is.
So you're married there,
Did you consider remarrying once again so you could release another version?
Well, actually, so fun thing aside, but I actually have 2 versions on my website. It's the Gleichheißen and the Hochzeit, which means the state wedding and the church wedding. So I have 2 dates already. No need for more. Yeah.
So, if I want, so slot 5 introduced JavaScript primitives. And
Mhm.
I think date is one of them. And have you considered using it for this? Like, or would it be the same? Or do you also do the derived or the intervals?
I'm not 100% sure, but I think when I did the refactor, at that point in time, I think the date reactive primitive was not available yet. Or they dropped it again? Okay.
And then you can also look at the PS.
I think the rename. I didn't see it.
Ah, yeah, renamed. Yeah, probably.
That they definitely renamed.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if they dropped the date,
Yeah.
but they probably renamed that one.
Would make sense.
Also, you still said that you don't like that there's no good API in JavaScript about dates. Do you know about the replacement kind of the date that is
Yeah,
temporal?
temporal. I saw some stuff. It looks promising. It's not here.
Hopefully, in 10 years you can use temporals.
Actually, I tried a bit, and performance are dramatic. Really dramatic.
Dramatically bad.
Not bad, yeah. I was displaying a calendar, and then you build it, so you build API, you discover something, and then you grow it, and then it was 1 second to display the page. And I found out that it's just because of new temporal instead of new date. So it was killing the button. So it's not there, so it was not native API, it was a polyfill. But yeah, I really want to give a try when you have this in the top.
So this Domenik style.
Maybe. You don't need a calculation to give an index.
The important thing.
Important one.
Then thank you so much and enjoy